Hello, I'd like to take you through a sample problem on consumer choice. When you and I go to the grocery store, we push our shopping cart around and we come out with different things. I might have Snickers bars and you might have Pop-Tarts. Who made the right choice? If we're both rational and we make the best choice, who made the right choice? Well, you know the answer to that. We both did. Why did we both make the right choice? Because we have different preferences. Well, how do we make those choices? And how do we decide what to put in our shopping cart? I'm going to take you through an example here. This is a simplified example. It says there's meat, there's bread, there's fruit and vegetables, and there's snacks. That's what we can spend our money on. So the first thing we need to do is know how we feel about those things, how much utility we get from it. The second thing we need to know is how much do each of those things cost. So I've got a little table here that outlines the problem. This says that for meat, if we buy one unit of meat, we get 72 units of utility or enjoyment from it. The second unit of meat gives us 54 utility or enjoyment from it, all the way down to 12. When we get 8, that's about as much meat as we can handle, and we're not getting much utility from that last little purchase of meat. We're overloaded with meat. Now, how much does meat cost? It costs $8. $8 no matter whether we buy 1 or 8. Well, 1 costs $8 and 8 costs 8 times 8 or 64. We have the same thing for fruit and vegetables, bread, snacks, and I added a column here, saved. What if we don't spend our money? There's some pleasure we receive from saving it. And so if we keep that last dollar in our pocket so we at least have $1, we get 5 units of utility for having that 1 unit of $1 in our pocket. Okay, you will notice all of these demonstrate what we call diminishing marginal utility. That's the key factor in consumer choice. The more we consume of something, the less each additional unit gives us in terms of pleasure. So how do we make the choice? We know the price. Meat costs 8, snacks cost 3, bread is 3, vegetables are 4, and we have a budget of $50 that we can spend on the store. How do we do it? Well, we have all the information we need to maximize our utility by buying these things. Let's see how it works. In order to make this work easily, we have to calculate utility per dollar spent. Because what we're trying to do is get the most utility for every dollar we spend. So if I calculate utility per dollar spent, I just take 72, divide it by 8, 54, divide it by 8, 45, divide it by 8, etc. For bread, I take 15, divide by 3, 12, divide by 3, 8, divide by 3. Now I happen to have those calculated right down here. This is just a matrix showing the same thing, but now it's utility per dollar spent. If we buy 1 unit of meat and spend that $8, we get 9 utilities for every dollar we spent. So the way we'll go through this is we'll spend our $50 $1 at a time. And well, 1 unit at a time. So we'll start by where do we get the most utility? Well, it's on snacks. We get 12 utilities for every dollar we spend on snacks. So the first thing we're going to do is buy snacks. We'll buy some snacks, and that's $3. You can't, that's too small over there. I'm going to make it bigger. So $3 we just spent to buy our first thing. Now, what's the next thing we can do? We can buy another thing, and we can get $9, $6, $5, or $10, or $5 for each dollar we spend. Let's do this one. That's the highest one. So we'll now buy one more snack, $3 more. Are you getting sick of snacks yet? Well, maybe, because now you see we get more utility by buying some meat than our third snack. We've got a little snack, satisfied that sweet tooth, and now we've got to buy some meat. So meat is the next best. We'll spend that, and we spent $8 on that. Now what's next? We got $6.75, $6, $5, $8, and $5. Well, one more snack comes into play. So we'll spend $3 on that. Then what's next? I can get $5 per dollar, 5 utilities per dollar spent, 6 utilities per dollar spent, 5, 6, or $6.75. Well, I'll buy one more meat. That's 8. Now where am I at? $5.63, 6, 5, 6, and 5. Well, these will be my next 2 purchases. I'm going to buy some fruit and vegetables finally. My mom would be happy. And I'm going to spend 4, and then I'm also going to buy more snacks for 3. I think we better see how much we've spent just to see how close we're getting. We spent $32, so that gives me $18 left to spend in our $50 budget. Okay, what's next? I can get $5, 4, 5, 3, or $5.60. One more meat is the next best choice. I get more utility for dollar spent on the 3rd unit of meat than I do on my 1st unit of bread. So I'll buy more meat, that's 8. Then I will buy bread and savings. And the bread is $5. The bread is $3 and the savings is $1. Now what's the next best thing to spend on? 4, $4.30, 4, $3.75, $4.50. How much money do I have left? I only have $6 left, so I can no longer buy meat. It's $8. So I can't do this $4.50. I can do the $3.75, the 4, and the 4. And the $4.30. So I'll do $4.30, which is one more snack. And then that gives me how much left? I better add it all up again and make sure I know what I'm doing here. 47, I've got $3 left. I can either spend that on bread or savings, and I'll spend it on bread, and that'll finish us off. So one more bread. This tells me that I maximize utility when I go to the store by buying 3 meats, 1 unit of vegetables, 2 units of bread, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of snacks, sounds like a college student, and 1 unit of savings. I save $1, I don't spend it. There is nothing you can do that will get more utility given these utility profiles and these prices with your $50 budget. What we did is we simply walked through and we figured out for each dollar we spent where we got the most utility for it. And to do that, we calculated utility per dollar. So we need the utility curves and the price of each item, and then we can logically maximize our spending. Okay, that's an example of how consumer choice works. And you will see in the book that there's a formula this results in. This says that you've maximized it when each dollar spent on all the different things is equal. And that makes sense because if they weren't equal, you could spend on the one, transfer money and spend on the one that's higher and get more utility. Okay, we'll talk more about this when we get a chance in class. Enjoy.